What's up, everybody? My name is Sean, and I'm the singer and main songwriter for the band Kill Your Name. Kill Your Name got started back in 2012. It actually wasn't supposed to be a band. I was going through a tough time trying to get through, trying to get over a lost love of my life, and it was a couple years after the breakup, and I was just still having a lot of problems getting over it, still having nightmares and dreams, and I ended up just I wanted to write about it. You know, I've done music my whole life, whatever, and I was at this point I was not really doing music, but I felt that it was probably the only way for me to get it out and get it over with finally. So I just sat down, and the first song I wrote was December Bloom. And like I said, it wasn't supposed to become anything. It was just for myself. But I had a vision in my head of I wanted the music and the lyrics and everything just to have the exact dark, depressing, sad, angry feelings I had. So I spent a lot of time just in my room, headphones on, guitar out, just writing and writing and writing, and to capture what I was actually going through. And like I said, the first song was December Bloom, and when I finished it, I sent it to my old manager, which happens to be Logan Mader of Machine Head, and he's a good friend of mine, just for him to check it out, and he was super into it and wanted to do something with it. So, you know, we went from there with it, and we did a 6-song EP. It was called Nicole. Nicole was the character, the woman that that broke my heart. That was about. It's not her real name, but it's a real person, and we wrote 6 intense songs about her. You know, put a band together and launched it from there. So that's pretty much how Kill Your Name got started. The name Kill Your Name came from exactly what it sounds like. Kill your name being Nicole, or her real name. It was very, very, very targeted on one woman and one, chunk of my life. Yeah, that's basically what it was. How did I get into music? Well, I guess I've been into music my whole life. I know back when I was in high school, I was kind of the outcast. Didn't really have a lot of friends. I pretty much just, everybody be out partying, going to parties, or going to high school dances, and I just kind of sat in my room with my guitar, and I just played and played and played, and it was like, from like a really super young age, I was always really emotional and really sensitive, and, in parts of my life that can be a down, a flaw, but that's just how I got my emotions out. I was a really sensitive, emotional kid, so I just sit in my room and basically I just wrote love ballads. Like I was really sad. I don't know why. I was really into, like, I'm a super hopeless romantic. So, I just did that, and then when I was 19, I joined my first band. It was called Life Hates Me, and there you go by the title. Very depressive, like, not depressing, but like sad, intense metal band. The first band that was major that I was in, that I'm more known for, is a band called Media Lab. It was the first time I was signed to a label, and it was like, I think I was 24. I want to say I was 24 years old. So yeah, Media Lab, that took off, and then from there it's just like I've stayed in music. After Media Lab, I did a couple things, and then of course Kill Your Name. So that's pretty much how I got into music. One of the worst things that happened to me on stage. Uh, well, there's a there's a couple things. There's two things that stand out. The first thing was when I was in that first band, Life Hates Me. We were just playing a small local club. I mean, it's not really that bad, but it was pretty embarrassing. And back then, it was like in gosh, it was like maybe in 1999. It was like, anyway, all the metal bands wore big baggy clothes. It was like kind of the cool thing, you know, when porn was popular and shit. And like I had we were all broke as shit, you know. We didn't have money for anything, so I wore all these big ass clothes, and I had the same belt for like years, and it was leather, and it was like ripping. And like halfway through our set, my belt broke and my pants fell down. And I think someone has it on video somewhere, but it was fucking embarrassing as hell. And I had to play a half a song with just my boxers on, and it didn't really go over good for like a sad, intense metal band, you know. Anyway, I think the worst thing that ever happened to me on stage was on tour. I was leaning over the front of the stage where the monitors were, and one of the monitors blew, and it popped right in my ear, and I got thunderclap, and to this day I lost hearing in my ear because of that. I think that's the two worst things that ever happened to me on stage. Sorry, I'm reading questions from you guys. So, have I ever heard of the country Suriname? I think so. It's in South America. I don't want to get into too much. I've heard of it. I'm not like too keen on it. I should have Googled that shit before I answered that. But yeah, I have heard of it. I know it's in South America. Sorry if that's not. I don't know. I feel bad now. I should have Googled that shit before I answered it. Let's see. What would I expect of metal bands in the Caribbean? I guess not much more from, I don't know, maybe having a steel drum solo. I don't know. I would assume, I don't think I've heard a lot of metal bands from the Caribbean, and I'm sure they're just as amazing as all the other parts of the world. I guess I would expect this, I don't know, the same as I would expect from any other metal band. Is there supposed to be a difference? I don't know. Maybe, like I said, a steel drum solo. I don't know. What are some of my favorite bands? Okay, so if we're talking about modern. My favorite metal band would have to be Asking Alexandria. Talking about all time, my all-time favorite bands would have to be Journey, 9 Inch Nails, Asking Alexandria, Iron Maiden, Bullet for My Valentine, stuff like that. Which band inspired me or my music the most? Well, for Kill Your Name, the band that inspired, there's two bands that inspired Kill Your Name the most. That would be Asking Alexandria and 9 Inch Nails, for sure, hands down. I think Trent Reznor is obviously a fucking god. He's one of the most talented individuals on earth, and he really knows how to emote. And you can really feel 9 Inch Nails. Asking Alexandria is one of the few bands that came out in the last decade that I just feel changed music and is cutting edge, and I love everything they do, and it's definitely inspired Kill Your Name a lot. Marvel or DC? Not super big on comic books. I think I'd have to go with Marvel though. I like all the original stuff. Like I said, not big on like comic book stuff. So sorry about that. Favorite things to do besides playing music? I love cooking. I'm actually a chef, so I love doing that. And I'm a big time video gamer. Big time gamer. I've ran the same Xbox gaming plan for 15 years now. We're actually called the Devil's Parade. We actually just won the Black Ops 3 tournament. We're a giant Titanfall team. We were like top 5 in the world when Titanfall 1 came out. Just started playing Titanfall 2 last night. So yeah, giant gamer, love video games. Have a team, like I said, called the Devil's Parade. Check us out. And What does the future hold for Killer Name? That's a rad question. So up until about a year ago, I was retired from music. Not retired. I was just done doing it. I was done doing it professionally. I actually started doing it again with another band called Gunmetal Gray, which I'm actually in right now. And it's a different style of metal, but it's still metal. I was doing it, and then I lost probably the second love of my life, with the exception of Nicole. That was when the Killer Name was about. But I went through another tragic heartbreak. It was about 6 months ago, and it broke me like probably worse than the first time. It was bad, and a couple months went by, and all these dark feelings were coming up again, and I wasn't quite sure how to get it out. I was definitely writing about it in Gunmetal Gray, which is an amazing band, an amazing group of people. You guys will hear that shit soon. And but this stuff was dark. It was like dark like the first time, and sure enough, I said I need to do Killer Name. So what I did is I picked up my guitar, I started writing, and I borrowed my guitar player from Gunmetal Gray to help me out. And one person I didn't mention, the original writer that helped me with all the first Killer Name stuff, and Killer Name wouldn't exist without, is Frank W. Torres. Frank W. Torres, he's one of my best friends and one of the greatest producers ever, and he's also the singer of a band called Unset. You should check them out. But so I hit up my guitar player from Gunmetal Gray, Dustin, and Frank, and I needed to do this music again. So I started writing Ashes in April, and this time not Nicole, about Ashley, not her real name, but that's what we're going to call her for the project. And we did Ashes in April, the three of us, and also with help of the Gunmetal Gray bass player, Steve Bridge. He's fucking amazing. So we got into the studio, did Ashes for April, and I really felt that was going to be it. And sure enough, I have a lot of stuff to get out regarding the Ashley incident, and so me, Frank, and Dustin, and definitely Stu if he wants to, we're gonna go forward with this, do the whole next Killer Name EP, entitled Ashley, and it's gonna be dark, and it's gonna be what Killer Name is. So the future of Killer Name is unstoppable right now. We're gonna do Ashley. Ashes in April obviously is our first single right now, in 3 years, and it's fucking blowing up, so we're definitely stoked. But I have a lot more shit to get out, so yeah, we're definitely gonna get in there and knock out another EP entitled Ashley, and it should we're looking to hopefully have it out by April 2017, which is when me and Ashley split. So I'm very personal. I'm very I plug my personal life in deep. But yeah, it's definitely helped me. Killer Name is not stopping anytime soon. And yeah, man, that's about it. I appreciate you guys for having me on, or whatever we're doing here. And definitely check out Killer Name. Definitely check out Gunmetal Gray, which is my other project. And yeah, dude, thank you guys very much. Metal for life.
Side by side, so the distance